I'm going to keep this crying Jordan, keep pounding up until the Panthers deserve to have something different up there.
My guess is that it'll probably be up well into the end of the season. That's my guess. But
our only hope is to beat the Giants in Germany. That's it.
At this point, I'd probably bet against us doing that right now. Quite honestly, man.
Oh yeah. If those of you who don't bet sports, this is your opportunity to get into it. Just bet against the Panthers. You'll win money.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, that's like
it won't be a lot of money because they're you're not taking a lot of risk.
But I mean,
you can put some gas in your car.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Some free lunch. They'll pay for your lunch throughout the week. Parking. You work downtown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So Carolina Panthers played the Atlanta Falcons at home. Lost 38-20 in a game that it's hard to tell if it was that. At one point, it was that close. It was close at the half. It was a 22-17 at the half.
Yeah.
And
kind of a fluky touchdown at the end of that half by the Falcons, but
yeah,
bad teams find a way.
I don't know if there's any such thing as a fluky touchdown against the Carolina Panthers.
Right? That's a good point.
Right? Actually. They're all just
yeah.
So I have a confession to make since there's not a lot of people in the chat. Every week I say the same thing. I say the only reason I watch this is because it's for you, the fans.
You did watch.
I ain't watched the shit. I went to a short film festival. We had tickets. Me and Jamal had tickets. I hit Jamal. I was like, "Hey man, I got tickets to the game. You want to go?" He was like, "Nah, let's give them away." We gave him the Vila. I hope you enjoyed the game. We gave the tickets away, and I didn't. And I'm like, I'm not watching this. It's bad for my mental health. So I went to a short film festival that's been going on in Charlotte for the last 2 decades. Had a great time. Yeah, and then I came back and I did watch it later, but yeah, real time? No. Because I already knew it was gonna happen.
Kazi, you may be on to something, man. Maybe. Well, I guess it's not going to work with our show, but for everyone else, if you want to protect your mental health, maybe it's better to watch it afterwards. You know what I mean? Because
that's true. Yeah.
Because watching it in real time is just going to rise. It's going to raise your blood pressure up. You're going to have all these expectations. It's going to ruin your day. So what you do is you make sure they lose first. And then watch, and it's easier for everyone out there. Yes, I think you're on to something.
I was checking the score, while throughout the at the event, but just knowing they lost, I said, okay, let me watch and see how sorry they were when they lost. Prahlad's happy. Yeah, he's a Falcons fan, but you know what? So like Falcons fans are the greatest front runners
ever. Because Prahlad, y'all know good damn well your crowd, your people they don't come unless they have a shot at winning. And please don't try to say other words because I've been to too many Falcons Panthers games to know otherwise. So don't even try to even deny that fact.
So the Falcons are 4-2 now. They'll find some way to choke away the division. So I'm not concerned. But enjoy this one, Falcons fans.
Enjoy it, man. Just get us while we're down. That's all I can say.
Since there's not a lot of people watching, I'm gonna try something we've never done before. I want to watch the highlights during the show.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna try to make some technological advances here on under construction. This is pretty cool.
So let's see.
With this Coach Canales system. Another throw and a right on target.
It's not YouTube's like now. You can't do that, all right, YouTube's not letting me play it because of
catches. They've already had a couple of targets. And Dalton set to throw, hesitates. Pressure coming from behind, floats one, and it's caught. Deontay Johnson right by the sideline. Had another
Can you see it on your screen?
Yeah, I see it just fine, man.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it was
and right near a first down. Hubbard came in with 17 catches. They've already had a couple of targets. And Dalton set to
So,
throw, hesitates.
this is when they offer you a little hope. It looks functional. Dalton is making great throws. It's like, see, and this is the buildup. This is when you're telling yourself, hey, man, maybe we can win. The offense looks good. The protection is good. The wideouts are getting open.
Well, Deontay Johnson's getting open. Do you think Dalton's focusing on him too much?
Probably. You could tell by that last pick he threw.
Yes. Yeah.
The one that's not being shown yet.
Yes, Swag. I know. We do got to be careful about this. So that's why I said, there's not a lot of people on the stream.
Well, Swag, we do have to be careful, but they can't sue us because we don't have anything. So
yeah. Plus, nobody gives a shit about the Carolina Panthers, so I don't think.
Like, who cares if we're copyrighting infringement on the Panthers? Who cares? They should be happy we're showing this.
Great throw. So that's a throw I don't think Bryce Young could have made. I'll say that.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's not a throw.
Tight coverage, tight pocket.
There's no way he makes that throw. But all right, the defense. By the way, let me say, I will say this about the Panthers. I love the uniform choice. That was the best thing about the game. The electric blue with the black socks. And the black that look good.
And man, if you're gonna lose, at least lose in fashion.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand how other teams' receivers are just so open. I mean, just the throws that Dalton had to make was against what I'm saying, like tight
coverage.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't pause this for a second, because I want to talk about that point real quick, if you can. So I really want to talk about this real quick, man. I said last week how we can. It's fair to bring up the injuries. I think if you cover a sports show, if you have a sports show and you have a sports team, you have to be fair and you have to mention it. So I'm going to mention the injuries on defense, which are fair. However, there is no excuse whatsoever for there to still be so many miscommunications in the secondary. There's nobody of note that is hurting that secondary that would give the excuse of that many mental errors that they still had on Sunday that carried over from the last Sunday. Now, there were not as many as last week, but there were still one too many. And that's inexcusable. There's no excuse for that. None.
Yeah, so this is a great point, Toby. Opposing quarterbacks do have too much time, but on our end, Andy Dalton had all the time in the world to throw. I don't think he got sacked at all. Let me look at the box score. Neither quarterback got sacked at all. Our receivers just aren't as open as other teams, it seems. It just feels like they're just sitting in zones and our guys are coming up making tackles. I don't know if you'll notice this, why they're wearing so much away white jerseys for games and not blue-black. I don't like it. I think because during the beginning of the season, they like to wear white jerseys at home because of the humidity.
Yeah.
Whereas dark jerseys,
better fit for the winter time.
Faster. It was cool yesterday, so I think they decided to switch back to the dark jerseys. But that's just a guess. I know that's something they said in seasons past. I don't know if that's still the case.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, if you're going to lose, man, lose in style. Because those jerseys were pretty fire. I have to admit that.
I might have to buckle about them, man.
Yeah.
Plus the black helmets, man. The black helmets were great. That was the only good thing David Tepper has done in his tenure here is let him push for black helmets.
Other than bring live music to Charlotte.
Okay, so you're not going to stop the run if you're the Carolina Panthers. That's the biggest issue, I think, with Panthers. They gave up almost 200 rushing yards yesterday, 198 on the ground. It would have been 200, but Kirk Cousins got stopped in the backfield on the rush. But compare that to the Panthers, who only had 114 yards on the ground. 92 of those was Chuba Hubbard. 21 of those was Andy Dalton. Miles Sanders, thanks for playing. So, I mean, if you can't stop the run, you will never win games in the NFL. And I'm not sure if this is why the injuries thing, I don't give it a lot of credence. We couldn't stop the run when we had everybody, right?
Right.
When everyone was healthy, we couldn't stop the run. And now, I mean, everyone's injured, and we certainly couldn't stop the run. So they couldn't stop the run last season. They couldn't stop the run 2 seasons ago when they had Frankie Louvu and Jeremy Chin, because there's been a deficiency at linebacker really ever since Luke Kuechly left. Let's be honest here. Just like, you know, at the quarterback position, we're kind of missing that quarterback in the middle of the field. I don't think. I mean, Shaq Thompson's a fine player, but he's not that guy, and I'm not expecting him to even be Luke Kuechly. But
you know, we just heard a little bit of what the issue is just a few seconds ago. I don't know if anybody overheard the commentator say, "Man, these young guys need to step up." Yeah, it's the truth. It's the NFL. It's your opportunity. You know, we need the Trevor Wallaces and the DJ Johnsons and the Claude Shirolas. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Those guys need to step up, man. It's time. Your opportunity in the NFL is now. You're getting it. You're getting it earlier than a lot of people do, man. So do something with it.
I want to go back here, okay? How?
So about that, perfect segue. Perfect segue, man.
4 defenders. 4 defenders. 4 defenders.
And that is exactly what I'm talking about with this secondary. So that guy, whoever's catching the ball, that's Xavier Woods' guy. Because I remember this play like it was a few seconds ago. I distinctly remember this play. Xavier Woods, for just some unknown reason, runs by the guy. You're the damn safety. What are you running by? Kaza, I am not a football expert, but one thing I know, if you are the safety, you are the safety for a reason. Go do some safe shit and back up. What are you running to?
I don't know.
That's your guy.
I think maybe, okay, so we see Woods. He's not lined up in the box or anything.
Right.
He's in coverage. I don't.
Kaza, this is not
right. So
Kaza, listen.
For some reason, he steps down into the box, and then that allows the receiver just to run right past him. I don't
get it, man. Listen, Xavier Woods is not some corner playing cover 2, you know, where you're expecting help over the top. You are the help. What are you doing? I would love for someone to explain that one to me.
I need an all-22 guy to explain what happened here. I maybe a miscommunication. Maybe he thought Horn was going to carry him up the field, and I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I hate soft zone. Look at this. Okay, they're all guarding the first down marker. But it's 2nd and 7. You're all guarding
2nd and 7.
Right, yeah. Like, you don't need to just guard the first down marker. You need to
man up.
Play the guy. Yeah. Look how
man up, man.
Look at these guys. First of all, if Kirk Cousins just wanted to check down to this guy, he's wide open and he's gonna get yards. Probably a first down, right?
Easy money.
Look how JC Horn is 5 yards off this dude. Why? Even then, he makes a break. He can sit in the zone. It's just that Kirk Cousins is like, oh shit, this guy. I don't know.
So Kaza, let me say something, man. On 2nd down, they actually had some modicum of success doing it that way on 2nd down. But here's the issue. if you look at the third down efficiency of the Falcons, that's where the Panthers really didn't do their job, man.
Gotta get the other
That's what
teams.
killed them the whole game.
Oh, you just run the ball.
You think that happens if Luke Kuechly there, or you never know, man.
Here's the thing. I don't need our guys to be Luke Kuechly. And like I said before, injuries be damned. They couldn't stop Bijan Robinson when he was a rookie, right?
Right.
So this
or
is
out
why
there, for that matter.
when people talk about what the Panthers need, and everyone is looking at Cam Ward right now. We had a great weekend, but it's like, have you seen our defense? Have you seen that? We have who's our stud on defense? JC Horn?
Yeah.
Who has looked?
Who has looked kind of pedestrian so far this season?
Yeah.
Dalton backpedaling, unloads. Short of the first is Sanders on the receiving end. Got a couple of catches today.
They just skipped the rest of the drive. They were like, man, fuck the Panthers. It's the highlights. They ain't got no highlights. That's another. Why is this guy just?
Kaza, it was like this the entire game, man. Like barely any of these catches were contested. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean that's all. Look at this all day. This part of the field, all day.
That's too easy. That's way too easy for an NFL quarterback, man. Kaza, what? Look, man, we just two guys that have a YouTube show.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know.
I don't know. While we watch the Falcons score again, what do you think about Andy Dalton's performance today? All right, this is probably the worst game so far. But he didn't look bad at the beginning of the game. It seems like the Falcons made some kind of adjustment in
the second half, in the third quarter mainly. But I think for the first half he did just fine. I think he gave us every chance to win the game in the first half of this game, man. The second half, like you mentioned, Atlanta made some type of adjustment. And even in the fourth quarter, Andy did okay up until that very careless interception, which I'm going
to give the Panthers some credit for this. This was a great play, great route, great throw. Look at that out route. That's like playing Madden, right?
Yeah.
Like boom, and that's a tough throw to make. Good pocket, everything. It's just, man, why can't we get that? I'm not expecting to get a 15, 20-yard gain every passing play, but that was very competent.
Which we're not used to seeing around here.
No, yeah, no,
yeah. All right, Kaz, I gotta ask this question, man. This is so of course, Andy Dalton throws a pick in the fourth quarter, and this ultimately becomes the very next question. We throwing Bryce back out there?
So, there's this narrative that I saw a lot today. ESPN, I think ESPN or Sports Illustrated might have brought it up. Why isn't Bryce Young out there? Because it's clear now the Carolina Panthers are not good, right?
Right.
They're not going to win very many games. So why not just play Bryce Young? Especially since at this point of the season, you're not going to make the playoffs. Almost mathematically impossible. You could do it, but let's be realistic here. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Not with that schedule, Elite.
By the way, this real quick. That play right there was the highlight of the game. Xavier, I was so happy to see him get this and to get it this way, right? You just high point the ball. You put the ball where your best receiver possibly can get it, and he went up and got it. Good.
That looked like an NFL catch.
Boy, that looked like an NFL level touchdown.
Yeah.
But there's been this narrative like, the Panthers aren't going to make the playoffs, and the best thing for them to do, honestly, is to lose every game this season, right? Regardless of what I feel about tanking, I'm not going to root for the Panthers to lose every game. But at the same time, it's like, why not give Bryce the reps? Okay. So Andy Dalton came out there and he gave us a little spark, and it flamed out.
Yeah. So here's the thing, man. I'm probably not going to answer this question directly, man. But at the same time, it's kind of where the brass wants to go right now, right? Like teams want to win games. Those guys in the locker room, regardless of how it looks, regardless of how angry fans are, all of that stuff, regardless of what the media says, those guys in the locker room, they want to win football games regardless of what may be best for them. Now, with that being said, what ultimately, what does Dan Morgan think? What does Tepper think? What do those guys think, man? Because I'm kind of on the bandwagon of, hey man, just let Bryce go out there and get the reps, because what does it matter at this point? You understand what I'm saying? I think I'm kind of on that boat as well. But at the same time, man, like, I just wonder what the pulse of the team is. Does the team want Bryce back out there? Now, I will say this about Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's a vet. I don't think Andy Dalton's some me first dude at this stage of his career. I don't think it would be a big deal to him to go back to being a backup. I mean, the guy got $10 million last year. I mean, what the hell?
Right,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's of any consequence for him to be a backup quarterback at this stage in his career again. So I just wonder, what is the pulse inside that locker room and with management in regards to Bryce Young, getting those reps and being the starters for the rest of the season. I just wonder how that is.
So I will say this: Canales made the change because his job is in jeopardy, right? He knows Tepper will fire him on a whim. So,
and Kaz, let me cut you off, because there's probably people out there like, damn, Kaz, you really think he's gonna fire him? Have we not seen the past 3 to 4 seasons, y'all?
Has a coach made it to the end of a season? I mean, besides Matt Rule, who got fired in the middle of a season.
Hello.
So Frank Reich didn't make it an entire season. If the Panthers look bad with Bryce Young out there, or they just look bad in general, Canales might not see a second season.
I'm not saying David Tepper is Woody Johnson by any means, but Robert Salah just got fired. Like, come on, like, anything can happen in this league, man. So nothing would surprise me at this point, especially with Tepper, quite honestly.
So this point right here, because a lot of people say this: you lose the best players, you lose your locker room. But let's be honest, J.C. Horn is not a quarterback. Quarterback is the most important position in all of North American professional sports. I mean, it is. And you mortgaged the future of your franchise taking a gamble on this guy.
Right.
And in his
and it was that. And it was a gamble. Yes.
And you haven't done anything. You haven't done a single thing to support his development. You did nothing. You traded away any potential weapons you have. You gave him 4 different offensive coordinators, 3 head coaches in 2 seasons as coming out of college, right? So I'm just saying, if you want to, quarterbacks don't develop sitting on the bench, regardless of what anyone says. That has never happened in the history of the NFL. It just doesn't. They're either ready to play or they're not. Now, Bryce Young might not be ready to play, but at this point, what does it matter? If Bryce Young doesn't play another snap this season and the Panthers go 2-15, which they probably will. That's what it looks like.
It's a very, very real possibility.
Then we wasted the potential to develop a player on the field, right?
Right.
It's the same argument Hornets fans have always had about playing the young guys, right? And it's a valid argument. Hey, the Hornets stink. Why aren't you playing the young guys? And, the coaches always want to go out there. They want to win the game. So I get it. I understand why you're always going to play your best players. But in this case, it's like we're really not that much better. We're not. The record shows it. We were competitive with the Atlanta Falcons for 2 quarters. That's the difference between Andy Dalton and Bryce Young.
And to be real, the roster shows it. I mean, here's the reality of the NFL, man. Here's the reality nobody wants to talk about. You don't get better when your guys go. What I mean by that, Jeremy Chin leaving doesn't make us better. Frankie Louvu leaving his team doesn't make us better. You understand what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, because they're in that article. The article I read about, hey, how come the Panthers aren't playing Bryce Young? The question brought up is Andy Dalton What's his future with the Carolina Panthers? Because, okay, here's the thing. Carolina Panthers will not have a winning record. Will not. Right?
Right.
They're going to have a losing record, and it's going to be bad. They're not going to win. They might get lucky and win 5 games. I don't even see that, right?
Yeah.
They're going to have a losing record with Andy Dalton. Do you bring him back? Do you bring back a quarterback you went 2-15 with?
You do it at a good price, and if he wants to come back to be a mentor, yes. Other than that, no. Because the thing is, the next step for Andy Dalton may be retirement. You understand? So again, man, if Andy Dalton's on board with coming back for a decent salary, which I'm going to talk about in a second, by the way, yeah, you bring Andy Dalton back, but you better have a plan, a contingent plan, a quarterback. You understand what I mean? Like Andy Dalton, obviously not the guy going forward.
Hold up, man. Hold up. This is where we're at, Panthers fans.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You did backflip.
Backflip.
They're doing backflips.
They're doing backflips at really. All right,
That's
man.
where we're at. That's where we're at. I don't know. So, I mean, obviously, okay, so Bryce Young is not the future of the Carolina Panthers, and neither is Andy Dalton. So we need defensive players, but we might have to draft a quarterback again.
Real quick, I want to talk to Tovy's point, and I also want to talk about Norman Davis's point real quick. Let me get to Norman Davis's point first. Norman, your point is 100%. I agree with your point 100%, but just based off intel, and I'm really basing it off what I know. The Carolina Panthers are going to back the Brinks truck up for J.C. Horn. Believe me. I'm not saying J.C. Horn won't leave or can't leave, but he's going to get a big offer from the Carolina Panthers. I'm basing this on intel that I personally know. I'm just going to keep it at that. Now, next, for Tovy's point about, spending money and spending $100 million on, the wide receiver and Robert Hunt and all this stuff, herein lies the problem. Herein lies a big problem, Kaza, that we need to talk about, brother. This team doesn't have a lot of cap room, and it is not a young team. Kaza, you can't be cap-strapped and old. That is like sports disaster. You understand what I'm saying? So I say that to say, and I'm jumping way ahead here, but the Panthers have got some serious decisions to make. Again, another offseason where it's like, okay, we have no cap money. We're old. Hey, man, get rid of all these old guys and just let these young guys go out there and stick it up for another year, develop whatever you got to do. Because right now you're in this horrible position of not having enough money to go get what you need, and you're old. That's not what you want, man. This is a triple whammy right now.
That's true. And I do know that the Panthers did do in the offseason, they did say, look, we need to beef up the offense and put more weapons around Bryce. But they all suck. I'm sorry. They all suck.
And cause didn't it
suck? You know how I know they suck? Because the Panthers' record right now is 1-5.
It sounded great in theory. It sounded real good. You hear that and it's like, oh, okay, they do want to win and they do care. They don't do anything right, man.
They all suck. They're terrible. Okay, all right. Andy Dalton went out there and okay, we scored some points. Team is still bad. The offense is still bad, honestly. Right?
I'm going to repeat this again. Your defense did not get better losing Frankie Louvu, Jeremy Chin, and whoever else we lost.
All right, so let me ask you this. Are we good on offense?
No. Oh, well, time out. Okay. We're with Andy Dalton quarterbacking, we look functional, which is an upgrade from what we've seen. Well, from what we've seen the last 3 or 4 seasons.
With a functional offense, and then we just got to fix the defense.
And is that not just a kick in the balls? Because at least, hey, here's dead horse time, y'all. At least when Wilkes was here, it was like, okay, we look functional and we have this good defense. Hey, that's all we can really ask for right now. We have something to build on. So now we go, I don't know, we make the offense look functional, and now the defense sucks because you can't afford to keep all the guys you lost. It's a kick in the balls. And quite honestly, man, it's just mismanagement, quite honestly, man.
Here's the thing. I don't think the offense is going to be ever what they want it to be. And it's probably the best idea just to
not going about it this way.
Right, just to keep Andy Dalton as another bridge quarterback. Hell, we've had all these bridge quarterbacks.
I'd keep him around if I could, quite honestly.
Just keep him, right?
And Kazi, real quick, because this is on my brain real quick. You know why else I would keep Andy Dalton? Because we have not had 1 ounce of continuity with this damn team in how long, bro?
If we had kept Sam Darnold, so Sam Darnold way better than Andy Dalton. Way better. Right now, have you seen Sam Darnold play? Have you seen this guy play?
We could start a list of if we would have kept. There's a list of 10 guys if we would have kept.
If we would have kept Sam Darnold, DJ Moore. Did you see DJ Moore last week against
I don't know.
Chuba Hubbard's gone about. If you're Chuba Hubbard, do you stick around? Do you stick around
for what? For what? No. Why? I can go get paid and be on a decent team.
Yeah, the average lifespan of a running back is what, 3 seasons?
Please.
By the way, Chuba Hubbard had a great game, another great game. 92 yards and 18 carries, no touchdowns though. But he's my offensive MVP.
Who else? I mean, who else would it be? Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Chuba did fumble. That's like 3 fumbles in the last 3 games.
Which is funny because the next question I was going to ask that I quickly answered myself was, do you think Chuba could have got more carries? But, you know, if there's like this fumbling issue now, the answer is probably no. He's probably not ready to get that load yet. You know what I mean?
The Panthers were playing from behind the entire second half. He still got 18 carries, which is –
I mean, that's nothing to sniff at. Yeah.
Right. But the Panthers just were unable to run the ball. Andy Dalton had to throw 38 times. It just wasn't good enough. The 2 interceptions didn't help matters either. So, if I'm Chuba Hubbard, when it's time to sign that contract, I'm be like, hey, y'all got to do something.
Y'all got to pony up, man.
And okay, yeah. So I will say this: Lewis and Hunt are good. I think the offensive line actually, outside of Ikem Ekwonu, who is the most important, he's the left tackle. That's your most important guy for your quarterback.
They've done pretty well this season, man.
Yeah, they've done okay, right? Andy Dalton didn't get sacked today. I don't think he wasn't. He was hit 3 times. He was only hit 3 times. So. You know, the offensive line is fine, which is why I don't understand why the offense is not better. Just because they suck. So,
well, I'll say this, man. You know, my kind of fashionable argument for this season is the defense and the offense kind of being synchronized, and the defense has not done our offense any favors whatsoever.
The Raiders game was fool's gold. The Raiders are very bad, right? They were bad enough to where our defense looks spectacular against them. Yep. And then the offense had a lot of runway to play with. When we play any team, you know, that's halfway decent, it's just not happening. So,
yeah, you know, the bottom line is our offense is constantly playing catch up. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of, you know, just
although last week they started the game with a lead.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, but look how quickly that dissipated.
It did, yeah. But you know, hey, Dave Canales is an offensive genius. So what do I know? I don't know.
For the 20th ranked offense last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, the Bucks are ranked higher offensively this season than they were last season. What changed? Defensive MVPs, nobody. Okay, so next.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Trevor Wallace had 6 solo tackles, 9 tackles. Troy Hill. Why did Troy Hill got 9 tackles? Why he lead the team tackles?
What do we always say? Anytime your secondary leaves the team in tackles, it's not a good thing at all, man.
Hey, I think Michael Jackson actually played well today. I like Michael Jackson, and I think
Mike Jackson is quietly having a really good season.
Yeah, I think that he's a guy you develop. J.C. Horn actually had a pretty decent game today. 2 defended passes.
But those damn safeties, boy, man.
Yeah, no,
bad day at the office.
Yeah, the Falcons really didn't throw all that much. 30 pass attempts. Really, they were just able to run the ball when they got the lead. They ran the ball 38 times, so they ran the ball more than they passed it. So I think it's just that when our secondary makes a mistake, it's always fatal, and that's what ends up losing the game. We're gonna get to that in a minute, Swagner. We're gonna get to the good team in Charlotte.
Because Kirk Cousins didn't have like a monster game. I mean, he passed a 225.
He didn't put up 500, thank God. So
right, which I thought he would, but again, they didn't need to. You know what I mean? So.
They didn't need to. They ran the ball very. Atlanta kind of just sleptwalked through this game and still scored 38 points, and only gave up 20. So
very efficient game by the Falcons, man. Very.
So next up, we play the Washington Commanders, who look incredible this season.
Coming off the loss, by the way. Yep.
Yeah, they're 2-0 at home. That's a 4:00 game. ESPN has a 71% chance of winning.
It probably needs to be higher.
What's your predictions?
So, assuming Andy Dalton is going to start at quarterback, I'll say the score will be 35 to. I'm going to say similar to today, to yesterday. I'm going to go 35-21.
So another rookie quarterback is going to look incredible against us, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. If Bryce Young just happens to start, I'll go 35-10.
Bryce Young's not going to start. Jaden Daniels is going to start, and he's going to look like damn.
He's going to like Randall Cunningham against us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's going to have an incredible game. In fact, he's at his season so far, he's got 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns on 2 interceptions.
That's incredible, man.
To put that in perspective, Andy Dalton has 7 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. Who is Jaden Daniels throwing to?
Terry McLaurin, who is really good. Terry McLaurin's pretty damn good, man.
Deontay Johnson's got better stats this season.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, but again, man, their defense is 15 times better than ours, so.
That's true. It won't matter. I'm going to say let's see. Oh, they're playing at home too? Oh, crap.
Yep.
Commanders are playing at home. I'm going to say 35-17.
And real quick, NFL, look, if we're going to suffer watching the Panthers, can we at least come on 1 o'clock so we can get over with?
Why is this a 4:00 game?
And then next week, and then the week after that is another 4:00 game.
I don't understand. Well, you know what it is? Okay, so look who we play, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We play 2 rookie quarterbacks that everyone wants to see.
Right.
And okay, so the Broncos game is in Denver. That's why one of the reasons why it's 4
Yeah,
o'clock.
we understand that would be in that 4. Yeah.
But Jaden Daniels he's a hot commodity right now, right? And everyone wants to see him. And you put him up against the worst defense in the league, he gonna cook. He gonna look good, right? Jaden Daniels is gonna look amazing. And everyone's gonna. That's all they're gonna talk about all week. No one's gonna mention that it's the Carolina Panthers.
It won't matter. They'll have their talking point.
Oh man, I need this season to hurry and be over.
Yeah, same, man.
Just hurry up and draft. So right now, before we go to the Hornets, you drafting offense, defense?
Defense, man. I gotta go defense.
Okay.
I gotta go defense. We know we can at least be functional and manageable with Andy Dalton, and that's enough for me to not draft offense. I gotta go defense, man.
What if Cam Ward's on the board?
Oh, he ain't. Nah, nope, not good enough. Not good enough. I like Cam Ward. I don't like him that much. I like Pierce out of Tennessee way more. I like Cam Ward.
Okay.
Because I ain't trying to brag, but my record when it comes to the first round draft picks with the Panthers, man. It's pretty damn good, man. I've been pretty good at this, man.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
By the way, the Panthers scoring defense dead last at 33 points a game.
That's crazy.
I'm about to do some digging. I need to see where that ranks all time for Panthers teams. That's bad.
It's got to be toward the bottom. It's got to be
only other teams. So we're 4 points clear of the next closest team, the next worst team, which is Jacksonville at 29.7 points a game, and then the Cowboys. Okay, Cowboys at 28 points a game. But we're almost 6 points because 33.8 points clear of them. That's ridiculous that an NFL team in 2024 is giving up 30 points a game.
On a total side note, we suck so bad. I can't even pick on Cowboys fans this year. That's
right? That's just sad. Right?
That's the troubling part of this season. I can't even troll Cowboys fans, man. Yeah, Jim. Thanks for rubbing that in too, buddy. Yeah, I know, man. Thanks. Let's rub it in.
Oh well. All right.
I'm happy.
All right. Yeah. So, hey, the Charlotte Hornets preseason.
I'm not getting excited. I'm not doing it, guys. I'm not doing it.
Hey,
I'm not.
Okay, I'll just say this. Those of you that watch the show know a few weeks ago I said if LaMelo gives us 70 games, 4th seed. I certainly feel
that's kind of a bold prediction, man.
Is it though? You've seen the preseason. You seen how LaMelo looked.
I refuse to do it. I'm not doing it, man.
Okay, so what's the more absurd part of that prediction, though? Being a 4th seed or LaMelo playing 70 games?
I can't answer that question.
Hey,
I'm not really sure.
The Charlotte Hornets, 2-1 in the preseason. They got one more preseason game tomorrow night, I think, against we'll talk about. Okay, against the Knicks again. We owe the Knicks one, right? Because they gave us our only preseason loss so far in a very close game.
Real quick, Kaza. Hey man, Tom Thibodeau is he a little jerk. Let me tell you why about that Knicks preseason game. Everybody, the Hornets had their trash out there, right? What Thibodeau? What Thibodeau leave Deuce McBride and campaign out there?
I saw that. Well, you know, Tom Thibodeau is known for playing his guys a lot of minutes, right? Right. So that kind of doesn't surprise me, but it's the preseason, man.
Like really, man, you're gonna really leave 2 vets out there with the G League guys for real, dude? Really? Whatever,
okay, here's my top 8 seeds. I'm gonna go Boston, the Knicks, Cleveland, the Bucks, the Magic, the Pacers, the Sixers, the Hornets, and the Hawks are my 8. I think we'll be in 4 or 5 seed. I don't think Miami makes it this year, and I think Chicago's fool's gold. I mean, Chicago wasn't even that good last season.
Chicago got Kobe White, and that's about it, man. I don't
believe that Chicago, Brooklyn, Toronto, or Washington are better. They got better than the Hornets this past season. You know, who knows what's going on with the Hawks, right? They might make the playoffs again, all together.
Right. Their rookie looks pretty damn good right now, but that's still. So let me say this, Kaza. Let me say this about playoff seedings and what I'm not going to predict anything just yet. I'm going to cower out of predicting anything, but I will say this: I think the Hornets' next step is to at least. I mean, I do mean at least. You got to at least jump the Wizards, Hawks, Bulls.
Yeah. You need to
you get what I'm saying? Yep. Like, get out of that bottom tier of trash in the East. You got to at least do that. Jump over those guys.
So
Hold on. Start getting in the conversation with the Pacers, the Cavs, the
Magic.
Who am I missing? The Magic. Get in that realm of teams.
That's what we need to be. I think the Orlando Magic is kind of the meter for the Charlotte Hornets.
Absolutely.
Because they're a year or two ahead of us in development of their team. They made us a splash last season. They made the playoffs. So in the East is, I think the last few years has been deeper than it's ever been, but it's still been very close. There's only 2 50-win teams in the East last season. The Bucks didn't even 50 games, right? So if the Hornets only won 21 games last season, and that was with all the massive injuries that they have, I don't see why the Hornets couldn't win. 47 games last season would have been enough to make the playoffs free and clear, no play-in. All you had to do was win 47 games. They won 44 a few years ago with a worse team, right?
Right.
I think they could certainly win 47 plus games this season if LaMelo Ball is healthy. If LaMelo Ball is healthy, then or not healthy, then this conversation is a moot point.
It's over. Yeah. I'm gonna say this, man. We always say this about preseason. It doesn't count, but it does matter. All right. And my observation so far is that I told you before, I forget what game it was, but I told you I was going to pay attention to how they look defensively. And so far, A+, and I'm going to tell you why. They're paying attention to these little details on defense that I'm not used to ever seeing them do. They look like a more mature basketball team. LaMelo Ball looks fantastic so far.
On both sides. He's playing defense.
Both sides of the ball. For Hornets fans, let me repeat that. On both sides of the ball, LaMelo looks super efficient. He looks in shape. He's not turning the ball over. I don't see any silly shots. He's making that three at a more efficient clip. I mean, LaMelo looks like he's finally going to take that jump that we've been talking about for the last 2 seasons. So far, it looks like he's ready to do that. We all know health is a concern, okay? Forget the health for a second. Let's just, we're going to put some positivity in the air, and we're going to say LaMelo Ball will be healthy this season. When he's healthy this season, there's no reason why that man can't start in the damn All-Star game. That's how good he looks.
Yeah.
He looks that good right now. And one more thing I'm noticing, man. Trey Mann looks incredible as well. Real shout out to our SI guy who posts in the Hornets group all the time, Charlotte Callahan, because he posted an article talking about some anonymous GM was talking about how good Trey Mann looked before the training camp, and it is showing itself on the floor, man. My bold prediction: Trey Mann gonna come away with an award this year. It's either gonna be 6th man or most improved player. He looks that good too.
Would you keep him at the 6th man, or would you start him?
I keep him at 6th man. I keep him coming off the bench. Because here's what I do love about Josh Green. Guys we haven't had a lot of size at the 2 position in a while. Like, as much as I love Terry, I don't want my 2 guard being 6'3" guard and 6'6", 6'8" guys. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'd keep Josh Green in for defensive purposes.
No, I agree with you there. Trey Mann has looked really good. This looks like a different team than we have seen in a long, long time. I mean, long, long, long time. I know, Toby, we're getting too excited early, but to be fair, the Hornets have never looked this good in preseason. They've won. They went 4-0 preseason a few years ago, right? But it didn't look like this. They didn't have Brandon Miller scoring 22 points a game in the preseason. LaMelo Ball, 25, 26 points a game preseason. Oh, by the way, Miles Bridges can play some basketball too. But what's most exciting is not those guys, because we expect those guys to be good, right?
Right.
Those are guys that's the core of our team.
Right.
When you see guys like Trey Mann playing well, that boy, now you're getting excited. And when you see Salon play, did we get one right?
All right. I'm glad we're here. Let's talk about the rookie for a second. So, when we drafted the guy, everybody has to admit nobody knew who the hell Salon was, including us, Kaza. If there's anybody out there who say, "Hey, man, I knew," no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You don't watch FIBA basketball. Stop it. You did not. So, the narrative on Salon by Steve Clifford, yeah, y'all, Steve Clifford, he's still around there somewhere.
Steve Clifford and Mitch Kupchak still work for the team. Don't forget that. Yeah.
And both of those guys said this guy is going to be the cog in changing your culture because he's going to work harder than anybody else. He's the one that's gonna fit the culture more than anybody else we draft. I see that already. Now he's still very raw. Don't get it twisted, man. I like what I see so far, but he's still very young. He's 18 years old. He's still very raw, but that man is shooting the basketball like nobody's business. That guy's out there running up and down the court. He can rebound pretty damn well. He's shooting the ball very well. And here's my hot take, Kaza. Kaza, you ready for Jamal's hot take today? I had one in my pocket today, buddy.
Let's go.
Grant Williams is going to be the backup 4 going into the season. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. Early on, Solana's not going to play. Y'all get ready for it. But at some point in the season, there's going to be a battle for that backup 4 spot. And there's going to be between Solana and Williams. And it might even end up with Williams being shipped out of here. That is my hot take. And I'm going to say this for this reason. We say this all the time. You just can't give everybody minutes. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
There's just not enough minutes to be going around for everybody that everybody likes. So I'm going to keep this very simple. At some point in time, the Hornets are going to have to make a decision, Williams or Salon, or do we even go small, which I don't want them to do. But you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Grant Williams is one of those players that brings something to your team that you're just not going to get from very many players in the NBA. Right?
It's an intangible, man. It's an undescribable intangible. Yep.
And the Hornets will win games because of Grant Williams. Not directly, but because players like him are on the team, they're going to win games. So he won't have enough of a drop-off, I think, for Salon to leapfrog him, but you are correct in that the front office and coaching staff may have to make a decision come the trade deadline. How expendable is he? We got this rookie needs to play. He needs minutes, right?
Right.
You want to develop him because clearly he can do the things you want an NBA ready player to do. Especially he can shoot, which is something that rookies always struggle with because the NBA 3-point line is like a million feet away, right? So he can already shoot it, right? So I agree. I'm going to disagree that he leapfrogs Williams in the rotation, but I agree that at some point, I think Grant Williams might be in the trade block. And I will say this: if the Hornets look like they're going to be like a 4 or 5 seed, I don't think that'll happen. But if it looks like there might be a playing
that's
team,
a good point.
Or bottom 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. That's a great point, man.
I could see that trade happening.
So. And the reason why that's a great point, man, because come playoff time, you always want guys like Grant Williams around. I mean, he already has deep playoff experience. You understand what I'm saying? He's already been through those battlefields with Boston, man. So you always want a guy like that around, man.
This could be an omen of good things for the future of the Hornets because they got a draft pick right that no one expected them to get right.
Right.
When was the last time that happened? When was the last time that happened?
Please.
Okay. Brandon Miller not withstanding because a lot of people didn't like the Brandon Miller pick. Everyone thought, but some of us said Brandon Miller is actually pretty good. But this pick, nobody.
No. Cousin, let's be specific. a pick outside the top 3 that we got right. Listen, man, I argue with a lot of people about a lot of different things about the Hornets. One thing you will never hear me argue about is the bad draft picks historically with this franchise, which is the crux of this franchise historically. You understand what I'm saying? Not to digress so far into that, but hopefully Salon changes that narrative going forward, man.
Hey, but you know everyone's going to, hey, you know, Michael Jordan left.
So, no, you know that's coming. You already know that's coming. Even though this is really his damn team out there, but whatever, you
know. Mark Williams was not in the walking boot this week. I doubt he'll play tomorrow against the Knicks. Will he be healthy this season?
So the word from Coach Lee is that it was not as serious as it looks. Now we've heard that before. You understand what I'm saying? So. I'll say this. I trust Lee. I'm gonna trust Charles Lee, and we're gonna just trust his word and say that Mark Williams will indeed be healthy by the time the season starts. The walking boot being off is a good step. Now, will Mark Williams play game 1? I don't know. I can't answer that question, man. But you know, if he's here by the second week of the season, I'll take that.
Here's the problem. That when players miss a lot of time and get that kind of injury, especially a lower extremity injury, it's hard for them to get back into basketball shape. Now, LaMelo Ball, I don't know if you guys know anything about LaMelo Ball outside of Hornets, but he's the kind of guy. LaMelo Ball is a gym rat. Like, we've seen him on the reality show, like, every day in the backyard playing against his brothers. He plays, I know him and his brothers play like in pickup leagues out in LA all the time. I don't know if LaMelo Ball will ever be out of basketball shape, you know, after missing injury, because he always looks good when he comes back. Mark Williams, I don't think quite does that. Plus, he's a much bigger person than LaMelo Ball is. It's harder for him to get back into basketball shape, and especially with a back injury, coming off a back injury. And then you have a lower extremity injury, it's going to be hard for him to, you know, to get back into basketball shape and be healthy.
Yeah. I again, man, and you know, Lee.
And if he is not healthy, are the Hornets still a 4 seed? Yeah. I think that the Hornets can maintain without Mark Williams. It will be difficult because Nick Richards is going to have some good games. He's going to have some mediocre games. He might even have some bad games. But the Hornets are not – I think this new look Hornets is not predicated around Mark Williams and what he does.
I agree.
He adds to that. But I think this team is all about LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, and the auxiliary players.
Let me say this. I don't know if this directly answers that question or not, but I'm gonna tell you something I noticed. I forget what game it was. Oh God, I forget what game it was. But Charles Lee went small ball. I think he had maybe like Brandon Miller at the 4 or something like that. This small ball lineup looked damn near unstoppable, man. I like it was. They went on like a real quick 15-0 run or something like that. And I say that to say, I think we're going to see more of that than we've seen in the history of the Hornets. You know, Lee comes from that Celtics pedigree, and we know how much the Celtics love small ball. I mean, they didn't miss a beat without Robert Williams. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't miss a beat without Kristaps Porzingis. So I said it to say we're probably going to see a lot more of that with the Hornets this season. And you know, if they find a way to make that work, then to answer that question, we won't miss Williams that much.
Yeah, I do think this year's Hornets team is better equipped to handle injuries. They're deep at a lot of positions. When's the last time you said that? Like, you know, their guard rotation is pretty solid.
It's still too many guards, but
still too many guards.
Good problem to have. You know?
Has Nick Smith Jr. even?
No, he hasn't suited up because word has it he has a minor injury too, so he hadn't suited up yet. So
Trey Man stole his job. So
yeah, for real, man. Tough break.
I hate it because I love Nick Smith Jr.
But Trey Man looks incredible so far, man.
So yeah, over under 50 games for Melo. I said, if the Hornets win 70, there'll be a 4th seed. I think I think the braces will work. He's played well in the braces during the preseason. I think he'll be fine this season. The only thing that really worries me about LaMelo's health is that LaMelo sometimes can be like, he throws himself around a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of reckless sometimes. He's flying down the court. Players like that tend to get injured a little more. Like, sometimes, I mean, he one of his ankle injuries last year is because he was flying out of bounds to get a ball and he landed on a fan's foot. So if we don't get any unlucky stuff like that happen, I think LaMelo will be fine with the braces, and I think he'll give us 70 games, and the Hornets will be good. I really think the Hornets go as LaMelo Ball goes. If he has a great season and stays healthy, then the Hornets will have a great season. If Miles Bridges or Brandon Miller get injured, that would be super unfortunate. But I don't think either of those guys is quite as important. No one on this team is as important as LaMelo Ball. That's just the truth.
It's that simple. It really is. They are a different team when he's not out there. It's that simple.
How do you think we do against the Knicks tomorrow? You think we get revenge?
I think that's a see what the G League guys game is. I don't think any of the important guys on either team play heavy minutes. But then again, Tom Thibodeau, you never know with him. But I think on our side, man, we don't see a lot of our starters that game.
I agree. I think Ball is probably done for the preseason.
Yeah. He didn't even play last game. I think they held Ball and a lot of guys out the last game.
I think we've seen all we need to see from those guys anyway.
Same. I think these last 2 preseason games are going to be very uneventful, man, quite honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, regular season, October 23rd. Wow.
Yeah, man.
First game against Houston.
Yes, sir.
You want to make a prediction there?
Nah, not yet. Not yet. Okay. We'll hold off. We'll hold off till next week. Let's give the fans a real preview.
You know what? I will say this. First 4 games, Houston, Atlanta, Miami, Toronto. All 4 of those
winnable.
Very winnable games.
Winnable. Yep.
Very winnable. Almost like I feel like the Hornets should win those games. I feel like they should not come out of those 4 games worse than 500.
I actually love the fact that they're opening on the road against Houston, who is another young team. Yeah. Another team that's trying to change its culture. Yeah. They're in a very similar position as the Hornets. So I think that's a really good test to open the season, man. So
I agree. But then, boy, after those first 4 games, woo, Boston, Minnesota.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're not messing around after that.
All right, so here's the thing, Hornets fans. We got to remind everyone, and the people we need to remind aren't even on here, but they're going to lose all 3 of those games, okay? All right?
Right. Don't jump off the boat, y'all.
Don't jump off the boat, yep.
Not yet, yeah.
Right, yeah. It's going to happen. There's going to be some – that's what you want to see from the Hornets, actually. You want to see how they deal with adversity. They never dealt with it well in the past. How can they deal with, playing Boston twice, which is dumb, playing them back-to-back Friday and Saturday. Luckily, those are home games. And then having them travel up north to Minnesota, where it will be very cold, and you play the new-look Timberwolves. Yeah. That's a tough stretch there. Now, you come out of that fine, and then you get to play Detroit the very next game. So, I don't know.
A Detroit team you did not beat last season. Like, that really still pisses me off.
I hope somebody got that game circled on the calendar.
Seriously, man.
Just that in the Orlando game. We play Orlando on November 12th, right? So, I feel like it's some people left on this team probably got that Detroit game circled. So, all right. You got any shout-outs or mounts?
Shout out to the Jetta team, A-King, Justice, two of my favorite DJs in Charlotte, man. Off the Wall was an incredible, fun event. Kaiser, one day, man, I'm gonna get your old ass to leave the house and come out there one night.
Man, I don't know, dude. I mean, leaving the house.
And look, hey, man, it's a good old people time, man. I'm trying to tell you, it is our age.
the soul is coming back. Not in its old location, but it's coming back.
Yeah. That'll be a good time as well, man. I got a break from Florida State, man. So no, I'm not gonna crucify them this week. Man. I think that'll do it, man. Here's my closing remarks. Not a shout out, but a closing remarks. So Kaiser called me Sunday, y'all, and said, "Hey, man, got these 2 tickets." And I was riding around, and it was like the most gorgeous. It might have been the most gorgeous day of the damn year, man. It was so gorgeous outside, man.
Very nice Sunday.
And for 2 seconds, I was like, man, should I go to this game? It's a gorgeous day for football. It's a nice day to be out here. And something just said, man, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to go. Because there is no better entity to ruin a beautiful day more than the Carolina Panthers, man. And it is completely sad that this is me these days. Because, Kaza, you and I both know if we got some tickets 7 years ago, it wasn't even a question whether we was going or not.
Oh, yeah. We was going.
Now,
even if the Panthers were bad, we were going to go.
We were going to go. Now, it's just all the energy has been sucked out of that stadium. If y'all look at the title of today's show, I usually let Kaiser handle the titles of our shows. He does that 99% of the time. I told him to do this title for today's show because that's how I feel. There is a black-ass cloud over Bank of America Stadium, man, and I don't know when it's going to pass. That's my closing remarks for the day, tonight.
Yeah. Me and Jamal went to Hornets games the 7-win season. I used to see Jamal without binoculars. I'd be on one side of the arena, and I would see him. He'd see me like, "Oh, what's up?" Like that's because there was only like 20 people at the game. We would just go to games. So the same thing, with the Panthers. It was like back in the day, like, let's just go to the game. But yeah, I didn't watch the game. I didn't go. We gave the tickets away, and I went to. This is my shout out. The 15. It's called 15, but it's actually 13 movies. But the 15 Short Film Festival. They've been having it in Charlotte for 20 years. This was the 20th one this year. A guy named Tony Diaz runs it. I had no idea. A friend of mine told me about it. We went, and for 3 hours, you watch short films that are submitted. They come from all over the world. In its 20-year history, 4 of those films have been nominated for Academy Awards, and 2 have won. Who knew that Charlotte had like a burgeoning like film industry? Well, actually, they film a lot of movies. They used to film a lot of movies in North Carolina and the Charlotte area, but it was very cool to go to. I plan on going back next year unless the Panthers are just incredible. but yeah, that was a great experience. Way more entertaining than watching the Falcons do backflips in the middle of the field at Bank of America Stadium.
This is where we're at now, man. Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. But thanks for y'all that joined us. I know it's a Monday night, crazy. These night episodes are crazy. Maybe we'll have something to cheer about next week. Thank y'all for being great audience. We love y'all and keep pounding.
Keep pounding, man.
Peace, y'all.
Or don't. All right.